Hi, if you are the one who wishes to work under the open sky and discipline is a part of your life, come and join our airport ram handling course. This course equips you with knowledge on hazards, identifications, risk assessment of airport, ramp safety activities and safety management of airport ramp. We are expert in aviation training. Our goal is to help you develop skills and competence for your successful future career in aviation industry. So join this course today. Lead a life close to the aircraft. Hi, if you are the one who is careful and treat other goods and material with care and you are the extremely punctual, then come and join our baggage handling course which will give you insight about the profile less known to others. This course is designed to help you to prepare for baggage handling agent with any airline, airport companies, clear understanding of all about the aviation industry. This course familiarizes you with the basic protocols of aviation industry and efficient techniques to deal with customers. This course is ideal for anyone seeking training in airport baggage handling. So join this course today and achieve your successful career through us.
Alrose Aviation, aviation industry, be a part of world's #1 service industry. So friends, in this slide, we shall discuss about the world's #1 service industry, which is aviation industry. I'm very sure that very many amongst us wish to make a career in the aviation industry. So friends, you are at the right place and let me welcome you for the training in aviation industry. So friends, different departments in aviation sector: aviation industry, flight department and ground department. So friends, there are two departments in this industry: the flight department and the ground department. As the name suggests, the flight department, we are talking about the department which takes care of flying of the aircraft. Working inside the aircraft, the cabin crews, etc. They are all belong to the flight department. Whereas the ground department helps the flight from the ground. So everything at the ground, the CACs, that are customer service agents, the people whom you see on the ground security people, the ATCs, the air traffic controllers, etc. They are all a part of the ground department. So in this next slide, we shall discuss about the flight department, the pilot and the crew members, the education, age limit, height and weight. So the flight department, they are primarily divided into two categories: the pilot and the crew members. Let me tell you more about this department. So in the flight department, the people who are there inside the aircraft, who fly inside the aircraft, they're primarily divided into two categories. One are the flight departments or the deck crew, which consists of the pilot. In our industry, we call the pilot as the captain and the co-pilot as the first officer. I repeat myself, the pilot is the captain and the co-pilot is the first officer. They are primarily the flight crew members or the deck crew members. The other people are the crew members, or we also call them the passenger crew members, which are known as the cabin crews in normal language, or air hostesses or flight attendants. Now, if I talk about the educational qualification that is required, minimum 12th pass, that is what is required from a recognized board or university. That is the bare minimum qualification that you require to join this profile of passenger crew. I repeat myself, if you want to join as a passenger crew, then you should be at least a 12th pass from a recognized board or university. As far as age limit is concerned, we consider it as 18 years. That should be the bare minimum age that you must have attained at the time of joining the industry. That's 18 years of age, height and weight. The kind of height and weight that we consider in the industry is BMI, which is body mass index. So bare minimum body mass index is 18, and for a female it should be between 18 and 22 or 23, at the max 23 in some cases we accept, and for a male candidate it should be 18 to 25. So the BMI should be 18 to 22 or 23 for a female in some circumstances, and for a male candidate it should be 18 to 25. I repeat whatever I've said in this slide. We have the flight crew members who are the pilots or the co-pilots. In the industry, we call the pilot as the captain, the co-pilot as the first officer. We have the crew members who actually assist the passengers, and we often call them the cabin crews, or we often call them as the passenger crew members. The gender neutral word that we use is known as flight attendants. So air hostess or flight stewards, they both sum up to become flight attendants. The educational qualification, as I've mentioned, bare minimum you should be 12 pass from a recognized board or university. Age limit should be minimum 18 years of age at the time of joining the profile or joining the company, and height and weight I've mentioned in the BMI. So friends, in the ground department, we have different subdivisions, and let me read out the subdivisions and then allow me to make you understand what the subdivisions are. We have the passenger handling, ticketing or reservation, ramp handling, cargo handling, baggage handling, airport retail, airport hospitality. We also will deal with education, age limit, and height and weight for these profiles. Now, let us deal with these things one by one. Passenger handling. The kind of profile that we have in passenger handling is CSA, that's customer service agent or customer service associate. Generally the company wants you to be a graduate if you want to join as a CSA, but there are different companies they also accept 12th pass candidates in this profile. Also, if you are 12th pass, we also have some companies they call it as lead assistant or LA, and you can be a 12th pass to join as a LA. So you actually have to handle passengers. So that would mean the kind of job that you are required to do in passenger handling is issuing the boarding pass, checking the identification documents, issuing the boarding pass, and helping passengers from arrival to departure. I repeat myself, helping passengers from arrival to departure is the kind of job role that you do in passenger handling. So helping passenger from arrival to departure, helping passengers in getting their boarding passes, checking the identification documents of the passengers. These are all the job responsibilities of passenger department or passenger handling department in the ground staff. While we are dealing with ground staff, and specifically in passenger handling, we have other departments as well. Like, for example, ticketing and reservation. This is also known as the revenue generating department for aviation industry. This is the only department, perhaps this is the only department which generates revenue, which brings in money to the company or to the aviation industry. So the ticketing or reservation department, as the name suggests, it sells or it gives tickets to the passengers. In passenger service, the kind of revenue that we generate is through passenger ticketing or passenger reservation. The kind of requirements that we would have in ticketing and reservation should be excellent communication skills in English as well as in the native language. The company also gives you different type of incentives to join the ticketing or reservation department. So reservation department, it actually deals in making tickets or booking tickets for the passengers. Now also, if I talk about the ticketing or reservation department, not only booking the tickets, canceling tickets is also a part and job role of the ticket or reservation executive. There are different other job roles of a reservation executive that we shall deal in depth in the subsequent chapters or in subsequent slides. Next comes ramp handling. Now, ramp stands for, in the aviation industry, ramp stands for region of aircraft movement and parking. I repeat myself, in the aviation industry, ramp stands for region of aircraft movement and parking. Ramp handling are those people whom you see near the runway on the taxiway, and they're always out in open in the taxiway or near the runway, obviously not on the runway but near the runway. These are the people who do the aircraft marshalling. These are the first people whom the passengers see while they deboard from the aircraft. These are all the people whom you see near the runway. So these are the people whom you see on the taxiway. They help the passengers with their luggage. They help the passengers uh, not only with their luggage, but they also help the aircraft in navigating. They help the aircraft in marshalling, that is giving direction to the aircraft. That is something that the ramp executives do. The main thing which the ramp executives, the main challenge of this profile is that you're always working under the open sky. So if you love this kind of a job, then this profile is made for you. Then we have cargo handling. Now, cargo is basically the kind of the goods which are not accompanied by the passengers, but they reach their destination places. That is known as cargo. Now, cargo handling is a very nice profile, and in fact, all the profiles that we have in aviation industry, they're great profiles, they're nice profiles. Cargo handling is actually the kind of people, they are basically the people who handle the cargo. Now, as far as cargo is concerned, we also have domestic cargo and we also have international cargo. So we work 24/7 and we help in getting the material from outside India or from different states, and also send the material to different states in India or to different countries in the world. Baggage handling. Now, baggage is basically the kind of the goods which are accompanied by the passenger. We can also call it as the luggage handlers or luggage handling. Now, this luggage handling, as far as luggage handling is concerned, that's a huge profile, because there are luggages which the passengers can carry with themselves, but there are luggages which the passenger has to send to the luggage compartment. Now, the passengers, once they send it to the luggage compartment, ensuring that the luggage is sent to the right aircraft and it reaches the destination point along with the passenger, is the job role of the baggage handlers. Airport retail. Once you once you get inside the airport, you would find there are very many retail outlets in the airport. Very many retail outlets. You would find world famous brands uh, operating inside inside the airports, and you can see them inside the domestic airports as well as international airports. So these are the profiles which are, I mean, this profile is known as the airport retail profile. One of the very nice paying job, and again, as far as airport retail is concerned, you get a lot of incentives, and you also get a very nice exposure and a very nice experience working for airport retail jobs. Then we also have airport hospitality. These are basically the hospitality companies which operate right from inside the airport. We mainly find them in the international airports, but we also find them in the domestic airports as well. It is basically to cater to the international passengers who have a long haul flight. So, for example, if you're coming from a Middle East, if you're coming, for example, if you're coming from Dubai and you're going to Australia, you have a hopover or a layover at Delhi for, say, about 6 to 7 hours. So, after 6 to 7 hours, you have your flight to Australia. So what you do in for next 6 to 7 hours, you simply cannot move out of the airport. So you can actually take rest for some time in different airport hospitality centers or venues placed right inside the airport. So you would find very many celebrities there if you join as an airport hospitality executive. So education, bare minimum education anywhere is 12th pass from a recognized board or university. There are very many companies who even prefer graduates, but the bare minimum qualification is 12 pass from any recognized board or university. Age limit is minimum 18 years and height and weight should be proportionate. So friends, thank you for listening and I hope that we would be there together to learn more about different departments, work culture and work profiles of the aviation industry. Thank you. All the best.
Alrose Aviation, Ramp Agent. My friends, in this slide, in this chapter, we shall discuss about the job responsibilities of ramp agents. What are their job responsibilities? What are the skill sets that are required? And what are the good points and what are the challenges of being a ramp agent? So please stay with me, and in this chapter, we shall deal with in details about the ramp agents. Now, friends, what is a ramp agent? Ramp agents are responsible for loading and unloading aircraft baggage, guiding planes to and from their gates, operating baggage carts, de-icing planes, and performing other airplane servicing duties. You will work either as an airport or airline specific employee, depending on the airport at which you work. Ramp agents have fast paced careers and should be comfortable working in any weather, including rain, snow, and heat. So let's deal with this slide in bit detail. Now, what is ramp agent? Ramp agents are those people whom you see uh, on the ground. You see them at the ramp area, apron area, and they are the closest to the aircrafts. So the work which these people they do, that would include the de-icing of the planes. Let's understand de-icing of the planes. Like once the aircraft lands, there's ice formation on the body of the aircraft fuselage that we all say. So there would be ice formed or water on the fuselage of the aircraft. So getting that cleaned, handling baggage carts, and doing other airline or airplane service duties. These are something which the air ramp agents at the airport they perform. So the ramp agent, I'll repeat whatever I have said. Ramp agents are responsible for loading and unloading aircraft baggage, guiding planes to and from their gates, operating baggage carts, de-icing planes, and performing other airplane servicing duties. You will work either as an airport or airline specific employee, depending on the airport at which you work. Ramp agents have fast paced careers. That would mean that the growth in this profile is really very fast. So if you are interested in joining as a ramp agent, please stay with me and I'll tell you more about this profile. So ramp agents have a fast paced career and should be comfortable working in any weather, including rain, snow, and heat. As I've already mentioned, my friends, that we work directly under the sky. So that would mean these are the people who are more prone to the weather conditions. So it could be raining, it could be heat. Weather condition is very during the summers it becomes very hot, or snow or winter. Whatever the weather condition is, the ramp agents are there at the apron at the ramp area. Friends, job responsibilities of a ramp agent. A ramp agent responsibilities: guiding aircraft to and from gates and backing them up for takeoff, parking, arriving, and departing aircraft, placing chokes and cones around aircraft, loading and unloading arriving and departing aircraft cargo, baggage and mail onto carts and or dollies, providing special handling of baggage, cargo, and mail as required. So friends, let's deal with this one by one. The job responsibilities of the ramp agent: guiding aircraft to and from gates and backing them up for takeoff. Now, once the aircraft is there at the gate and it is waiting for passengers, and once the passengers are inside the aircraft and with the cabin crew completes the duties, whatever is required, then the cabin is now closed, and the ramp agents they perform the duties of pushing the aircraft back, and this would help the aircraft to be well placed near the runway. Now, this pushing is done by trucks which are known as tugs or pushback trucks. Tugs or pushback trucks. So, the aircraft, the front of the aircraft, the nose wheel is attached to the tugs, to the pushback trucks, and the ramp executive drives the truck and it pushes the aircraft back near to the runway, and then the aircraft starts following its own procedure, and then the aircraft is ready to take off. So that is one of the job responsibilities of the ramp agent. Moving forward, parking, arriving, and departing aircraft. Once the aircraft has arrived, ensuring that the aircraft is parked properly, that would be marshalling the aircraft. That is one of the primary job responsibilities of the ramp executive. So parking, they're helping the aircraft getting parked. That's primarily marshalling the aircraft, and then, as I've already mentioned in the previous point, that is departing, helping the aircraft depart to the concerned destination. And then parking the aircraft once the aircraft has reached the airport, and helping the aircraft getting parked at the appropriate bay. So that's another job responsibility, placing chokes and cones around the aircraft once the aircraft has arrived at the destination, and then it's our responsibility, it's our job as ramp executives to put chokes on the wheels of the aircraft so that the wheels do not move, and also cones around the aircraft to ensure that the other ground staff members, they know that this aircraft is now standard and it is standing, and we are performing our duties which is required as per the requirements, as per the protocol, or as per the procedure. So placing cones around the aircraft would actually mean that this aircraft is now under the supervision of the ramp executives, and they are doing their duties which are required to be performed. In the subsequent slides, we shall discuss about the duties, what we do once the aircraft is placed and the chokes are on and the cones are there. Next is loading and unloading, arriving and departing aircraft cargo, baggage and mail onto carts or dollies. So once the aircraft has arrived or the aircraft is ready to depart, we put the baggages of the passengers or the cargo, depending on the aircraft that I'm talking about. If it's a passenger aircraft, then we put the passenger baggage, and the equipment that helps us is known as dollies. They are basically the baggage carts, primarily what I'm talking about. So we get the baggages loaded on the carts, and then we pull them on either it could be any of the, I would say, cars or whatever is there at the airport, and then we bring that car on the ramp area, and then we unload the luggage or cargo depending on the kind of aircraft that we are dealing with, and then we also, it's our job responsibility to put that baggage or cargo into the aircraft. So that's one of the major job responsibilities that we do as ramp executives or ramp agents. Then providing special handling of baggage or cargo and mail as required. So if there's a special cargo or special requirement, then we have to handle it accordingly. Like, for example, a baggage or a cargo is a fragile cargo, that is a brittle cargo, or it has something which is fragile in the packing, then we have to handle it accordingly. So that's one of the another job responsibilities that as ramp executives or ramp agents we perform. Now, friends, next in list are collecting, loading, and unloading live animals and dangerous goods on and off aircraft when necessary, delivering passenger baggage to the claim area and unloading baggage onto the conveyor system, performing cabin maintenance and cleaning services, including restocking the aircraft, operating ground support equipment, including aircraft stair units, container loaders, aircraft ground power units, water or lavatory service trucks, aircraft de-icing units, cargo dollies, and passenger vans when necessary. Reporting all equipment malfunctions to the appropriate supervisor or managers. I repeat that. Reporting all equipment malfunctions to the appropriate supervisor or manager, complying with all airport authority and carrier security requirements, including adhering to Swissport standard operating procedures. Let's deal with them one by one. Collecting, loading, and unloading live animals and dangerous goods on and off aircraft when necessary. Now, it is our responsibility as ramp executives of collecting, loading, unloading live animals. Yes, animals are also transferred or transported from one state to another state, even one country to another country with due permission. So, unloading them or loading them, whatever the case may be, that is our responsibility. And also loading or unloading dangerous goods. Yes, we have certain requirements for that as well. Loading and unloading of dangerous goods on and off aircraft whenever necessary, whenever the job responsibilities require us to do. Delivering passenger baggage to the claim area and unloading baggage onto the conveyor system. Now, if once the aircraft is ready for takeoff, before that even we have to put the passenger baggage inside the aircraft. That's our job responsibility. And once the aircraft has landed or arrived at the destination airport, then putting the baggage into the baggage claim area and unloading the baggage into the conveyor system. From there, the passengers can collect their baggage. So that is what we do. And next comes performing cabin maintenance and cleanliness services, including restocking the aircraft. So cabin maintenance is something that we do. Cleaning services, yes, that's also something that we do, including restocking the aircraft, whatever is required inside the cabin. So we have a checklist, and then as per the checklist, we have to ensure that we have restocked all the equipments inside the aircraft if need be. Next is operating ground support equipments, including aircraft stair units, container loaders, aircraft ground power units, water lavatory, service trucks, aircraft de-icing units, cargo dollies, and passenger vans when necessary. Let's deal with them one by one. Operating ground support equipments. There are very many ground support equipments which helps in the aircraft to be parked. So we have to operate them. We have to ensure they are there, like for example chokes, cones, etc. We have discussed that in a previous slide, including aircraft stair units. We operate these stair units so that the passengers can board or deboard from the aircraft easily. That's also our job responsibility as ramp executives. Container loaders, yes, we have all the baggages or cargo depending on the kind of aircraft that we are dealing with. So loading the cargo or baggage using the container loaders. Aircraft ground power units, they are known as GPU, ground power units. So ensuring that the GPU is connected to the aircraft, that's an external power supply for the aircraft. So that's also our job responsibility, connecting the GPU ground power units. Water or lavatory service trucks. Once the aircraft has arrived at the destination, then we operate the lavatory or water trucks to get the lavatories clean or replenished with water for the next flight. Aircraft de-icing units. So as I have mentioned in some other slide, that once aircraft is there at the once it has reached the destination, then there is water formation on the fuselage of the aircraft. So getting it clean, de-icing the units, de-icing the aircraft, that's our job responsibilities. Cargo dollies, operating the cargo dollies. Cargo dollies are basically the baggage carts or the cargo carts which are there. So operating them and ensuring that the cargo or the luggage is unloaded on them. And passenger vans, operating the passenger vans so that the passengers can reach the right bay, and from there the passengers can move out of the move out of the airport. So that's also our job responsibilities, operating the passenger vans. Then whenever necessary, we perform all these responsibilities, all these jobs that I've just mentioned in this slide. Reporting all equipment malfunctions to the appropriate supervisor or manager. Now, once we start working, there are certain equipments that might falter or malfunction. So we have to report all the equipments which malfunction or falter to our supervisors or to our managers. Complying with all complying with all airport authority and carrier security requirements, including adhering to Swissport standard operating procedures. So we have to comply while we work. We have to comply with all the procedures or protocols which are mentioned by the law of the land. So every country has its own protocol. Every country has its own law, which guides us in performing our duties, and we have to ensure that we follow them to the core. So that is precisely some job responsibilities that we have discussed in this slide. And just before I end this conversation on this slide, on the left side, the picture that you see, it's basically that of a pushback truck, and you can see that the nose wheel is attached to the pushback truck, and this pushback truck helps the aircraft to be pushed back. As I've mentioned in some other slide, in some other chapter, that in aviation, in aircrafts, we do not use the reverse gear. We use it for different purposes altogether. We shall deal with that in great detail in some other slide. But here on the left side, we have the picture of the aircraft and the pushback truck or tugs, we often call them. Skills, interests, and qualities. To become a ramp agent, you will need to have ability or able to work in extreme conditions such as hot and cold weather, as well as small spaces. Familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing. Possess a valid driver's license and have a good driving record. Pass a physical agility test depending on the airline. Strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals. Excellent verbal and written communication skills such as email and phone. Flexible schedule allowing work during nights, weekends, and holidays. Adaptability to changing priorities and time management skills. So friends, let's deal with them individually one by one. Ability or able to work in extreme conditions. As I've already mentioned, that the major challenge in this role, in this profile, is that you have to work under the sky. Many of my friends who are into this profile, they actually love this job because they are the ones who never liked working under a cabin or in an office. So if you're one of them, this profile is there for you. And you also are required to work in small spaces, in restricted spaces, but always remember that you are under the sky and you're also subjected to hot and cold weather. But many of my friends, they really like this kind of a job because they have never liked or wished to work in a enclosed office. Familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing. So you have to be familiar with basic computer programs, which helps us in keeping the records clear and records as per the schedule, as per the requirement. So you should have the basic computer knowledge as well. Remaining, whatever softwares we use, the company or the airline will actually train you accordingly. Possess a valid driver's license and have a good driving record. So if you are into the pushback truck operation or into the passenger van operation, etc., then you have to have a valid driving license, and you should also have a good and faultless, flawless, spotless driving record. Pass a physical agility test depending on the airline. Yes, there are very many airlines which subject you to a physical agility test. They basically check the physical fitness and mental fitness, which is required in this job. Strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals. So strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals. So we are a team and we work as team, as I've already mentioned in some other slide as well, that we work closely to the other ground staff members, be it the baggage executives or the ground staff or any other department. So it's a team that we work, so we have to be good in collaboration skills and teamwork skills to achieve the team goals, because at the end of the day, the team goal is that helping the passengers arrive at their destinations at right time and helping the passengers and having a smile on the passenger's face. So it's a team that we work as, and collaboration skills that are required to achieve this kind of a goal. excellent verbal and written communication skills such as email and phone. So if you are into this profile and if you are specifically into the supervisory role, we expect you to have a decent written and verbal communication skills. Such as you have to draft emails, you have to send emails to the required departments, attend to phone calls, etc., depending on the kind of profile that you are in. Specifically, this will hold good in case if you are a supervisor in this kind of a profile. Flexible schedule allowing work during nights, weekends, and holidays. So as I have already mentioned that in this industry we are subjected to 24/7 kind of a job environment. So it could be night or weekends or holidays. We should be ready to work. So that's the flexibility that is expected out of us anywhere in the aviation industry. Adaptability to changing priorities and time management skills. Time is very, very crucial in this kind of a profile. So adaptability to changing priorities and time management skills. So whatever priorities are decided by the shift supervisor or the manager, we have to abide by that and follow the time guidelines as mentioned by the supervisor or the manager. So friends, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have now a better understanding of the ramp duties and the job role of a ramp executive or ramp agent. So thank you so much for listening and keep learning. Welcome back, friends. Now, in this slide, in this chapter, we shall deal with baggage handling and baggage handling agents. What are the job responsibilities of a baggage handling agent? What are the challenges? And what are the requirements to become a baggage handling agent? Stay with me. What is a baggage handling agent? What is a baggage handling agent? You would load people's luggage on and off planes between flights and move it around the airport. You would be responsible for making sure that all the suitcases and cargoes are quickly and carefully delivered so that people can collect them or they are transferred onto the next flight. You would make sure that nothing is lost or broken and that the passengers and planes are safe and secure. So let's deal with these points individually. You would load people's luggage on and off planes between flights and move it around the airport. So it is our job responsibility to ensure that the passenger's luggage is loaded or unloaded once the passenger reaches the destination airport. It is our responsibility to load the luggage and unload the luggage at the destination airport. So that's our job responsibility. And if I mix the point 2 here, then there are very many connecting flights. So for example, if a passenger is going from point A to point B, and at point, for example, if the passenger is going from point A to point B, or primarily the destination is point A to point C. Now point B is actually a layover. So actual destination would be point C. So what these people they do, the baggage handlers, is that once the aircraft reaches at point B, but for the passenger, the destination is point C, C as in Charlie. So what these baggage handlers they do is that they would unload the luggage and put it onto the aircraft which is going to point C. So once the passenger reaches the destination at point C, he or she will find his or her luggage at the baggage makeup area, and this would be done by the baggage handling agents. So you'd be responsible for making sure that all the suitcases and cargoes are quickly and carefully delivered so that people can collect them or they are transferred onto the next flight. You would make sure that nothing is lost or broken, my friend. That's very, very important. This job role actually requires us to be very, very cautious about the passengers' luggages. So we have to ensure that nothing is broken and nothing is damaged. So that is something that we do. We have to also take care of the luggages on which it is written fragile, because these luggages for sure would have something brittle, something worthy to be broken easily in their suitcases. So we have to ensure that nothing bad happens to these baggages. We have to handle them with utmost care. So we have to ensure that nothing is lost or broken and that the passengers and planes are safe and secure. So it's our job responsibility once we load all the luggages inside the aircraft, inside the belly of the aircraft. I'm specifically talking about the passenger aircraft. We have to ensure that the gates are closed and properly closed so that the security is not a concern for the passengers. So it's our job responsibility to ensure that the luggage gates or the baggage gates are completely closed and shut down. So just repeating whatever I've said, you would load people's luggage on and off planes between flights and move it around the airport. You would be responsible for making sure that all the suitcases and cargoes are quickly and carefully delivered so that people can collect them or they are transferred onto the next flight. You would make sure that nothing is lost or broken and that the passengers and planes are safe and secure. Friends, job responsibilities of baggage handling agent: collect, sort, and check luggage against flight lists, making sure that the right items go on to the right aircraft. Transfer luggage from the check-in areas to the departure areas. Use trucks, cargo loaders, and conveyor belts to move luggage to and from the aircraft. Load luggage onto the conveyors in the arrival hall. Let's deal with them individually. Collect, sort, and check luggage against flight lists. So that would mean we have, because it's not only one aircraft that we deal with. So we have a list of different aircrafts and we have to ensure that the luggages are as per the list which has been provided to us. Because if we do not do that, my friends, then the luggage of aircraft A might go into aircraft B. So it'll be a huge problem for the passengers and eventually for the airlines. So nothing doing. So we have to ensure that we follow the lists to the core. So that would mean collect, sort, and check luggage against flight lists, making sure that the right items go onto the right aircraft. That is precisely what I said a few seconds back. So we have to ensure that the right items go into the right aircraft. So if it is for aircraft A, it has to go to aircraft A. It cannot go to aircraft B. And that is why we have to follow the list which is given to us. Transfer luggage from the check-in areas to the departure areas. So transfer luggage from the check-in areas where the passengers put the luggages in to the departure areas so that it can be loaded inside the aircraft. As I have mentioned in some other slide that there are different type of baggage or luggages. One is a carry-on luggage which the passenger carries with himself or herself inside the cabin. The other one are the check-in luggage. So here I'm talking about the check-in luggage. So these luggages, they are there with us and we have to ensure that we transfer these luggages to the right aircraft which is waiting for the departure. So transfer luggages from the check-in areas to the departure areas and then we load it into the aircraft. Use trucks, cargo loaders and conveyor belts to move luggage to and from the aircraft. So we have to use trucks. We should know driving. I mean, that depends on the profile that we are working at. So as baggage handlers, we may be using trucks, cargo loaders, and even we have to use conveyor belts. That's primarily for all the passenger aircrafts. So we should be able to operate these goods or these items or these equipments. Use trucks, cargo loaders, and conveyor belts to move luggage to and from the aircraft. So once we unload the luggage, primarily once the aircraft has reached the destination, once the aircraft reaches the destination, we unload the luggage and then we put it on the conveyor belt. So that is something that we do as baggage handling agents. Load luggage on the conveyors in the arrival hall. So once we get these luggages, we put it into the truck and then put it near the arrival hall and then put them on the conveyor belts from where the passengers would be able to collect their luggage. So that's primarily the job responsibilities of baggage handling agents. It's really a huge list of responsibilities that we perform, and that too we cannot even afford to make a single mistake here. So just recollecting of whatever I've said: job responsibilities of baggage handling agent: collect, sort, and check luggage against flight lists, making sure that the right items go on to the right aircraft. Transfer luggage from the check-in areas to the departure areas. Use trucks, cargo loaders, and conveyor belts to move luggage to and from the aircraft. Load luggage onto the conveyors in the arrivals hall. Continuing with the job responsibilities, store freight cargoes in warehouses ready for distribution. Move freight and load it on and off the aircraft. Clean and de-ice aircraft. Keep the runways clear of debris and snow in winter. As an experienced handler, you should work as a lead ramp hand, lining up aircraft ready for the next flight. You might also train staff on new equipment and procedures. You would need some basic mechanical knowledge to work with conveyors and lifting equipment. Let's deal with them in bit detail. Store freight cargoes in warehouses ready for distribution. So specifically, I'm talking about the cargoes here. So once the cargo is out of the aircraft, we get it stored into the freight stores or warehouses, and we have to ensure that the cargo is stored at the right warehouse. We cannot even think of mixing them with some other warehouse. So there are warehouses segments which are made for different aircrafts, for different airlines, and specifically I'm talking about the cargo airlines or cargo departments. So store freight cargoes in warehouses ready for distribution. Move freight and load it on and off the aircraft. Basically, I'm talking about that in the cargo division, in the cargo aircraft, we have to ensure that we load it correctly into the right aircraft, and then we unload it and put it into the warehouses. So the entire transportation, entire distribution is all done by the handlers here. Clean and de-ice the aircraft. So clean and de-ice the aircraft, that's something that we do, because once the aircraft is grounded, once it reaches the destination, then there's ice formed on the fuselage of the aircraft, or the water which is there on the fuselage of the aircraft due to water condensation. So we have to ensure, we have to clean the aircraft and help it get de-iced. Keep the runways clear of debris and snow in winters. So that's also our job responsibility, to ensure that the runways that are used, they are clear of any kind of debris or foreign objects that we call in this industry, or snow, specifically in the winter seasons. As an experienced handler, you should work as a lead ramp hand, lining up aircraft ready for the next flight. So because we work on tight schedules, my friends, so that would mean if one aircraft, once we have loaded the aircraft, it has gone, then we are ready with the next aircraft. So it's actually a very, I would say, time constrained job that we do, and we always have to follow strict deadlines. So that is something that is our part and parcel of the job that we do. So we have to be ready for the next flight. Once the flight A has gone, we have to be ready for flight B, eventually flight C, D, etc., etc. You might also train staff on new equipments and procedures. So once you become an experienced handler, then you're also required to train your juniors or new hires in handling different kind of equipments and also following the right procedures. That's our job responsibility. You would need some basic mechanical knowledge to work with conveyors and lifting equipments. So that's basically some mechanical information. You don't have to be a mechanical engineer or something. That's basic mechanics that we have to understand, and then we are trained in that. And eventually, once we become experienced people, then we ensure that it is ensured that we also train our juniors or the new hires. So that's something that we do as the handlers. So I'll just repeat whatever I've said here in this slide. Store freight cargoes in warehouses ready for distribution. Move freight and load it on and off the aircraft. Clean and de-ice aircraft. Keep the runways clear of debris and snow in winter. As an experienced handler, you should work as a lead ramp hand, lining up aircraft ready for the next flight. You might also train staff on new equipment and procedures. You would need some basic mechanical knowledge to work with conveyors and lifting equipments. Friends, skills, interests, and qualities. To become a baggage handling agent, you will need to have able ability to work in extreme conditions such as hot and cold weather, as well as small spaces. familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing, possess a valid driver's license and have a good driving record, pass a physical agility test depending on the airline, strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals, excellent verbal and written communication skills such as email and phone, flexible schedule allowing work during nights, weekends, and holidays, ability to changing priorities and adaptability to changing priorities and time management skills. I repeat that, adaptability to changing priorities and time management skills. Let's deal with them one by one. As a baggage handler, there are certain skills that either we should have or we should develop. Able to work in extreme conditions, as we have already seen that we even work near the runway or at the apron area or the ramp area. So we should be ready to work in hot and cold weather or extreme weather conditions, as well as in small spaces. The belly of the aircraft is comparatively small, so we should be ready to work there, and that is something that we have to do in our normal day-to-day work life. Familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing. So we should be familiar with the with computers, and because we use softwares to ensure all the freight or the cargo or the baggage is at the right aircraft. So that list is prepared, and we use different softwares, and the airline that you'll be working for will train you in the softwares. But primarily, we should be comfortable in using a computer. So that is familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing. Possess a valid driver's license and have a good driving record. So if you are working as a baggage handler, then we are many a times we are required to drive a truck which would transfer the luggage or the baggage or the cargo from the terminal to the aircraft. So you should have a valid driver's license and also a spotless, flawless, and faultless driving record. So that is something that is very important if you are into this kind of a profile. Pass a physical agility test depending on the airline. There are very many airlines because we work under the under severe conditions, weather conditions I'm talking about. There are very many airlines. They basically subject you to a physical agility test depending on the airline. That's basically a physical and mental test that you are subjected to. If you're physically and mentally fit, strong, you can easily pass that. That's not a major issue. Strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals. So always remember this, we work as a team. We also, as baggage handlers, we work very close to the ramp executives, to the CSAs, and even to some of the cabin crews as well. So we work very close to different departments. So that's excellent. I would say collaboration skills that we need to develop, and we need to ensure that we work as a strong team, because at the last we are looking for customer satisfaction and customer smile on the customer's face, and here I'm talking about the smile on passenger's face. So that's complete teamwork that we are looking forward to. Excellent verbal and written communication skills such as email and phone. Specifically if you are a supervisor, then you are required to answer emails, answer phone calls. You should have a decent written and verbal communication skills. Flexible schedule allowing work during nights, weekends, and holidays. That's something very similar to any other profile in the aviation industry. We work 24/7, and we should be ready to work in a 24/7 environment. So it could be night, day, it could be any time of the day, any day of the week. It could be a holiday, a gazetted holiday, or it could be a national holiday. We should be ready to work during that time as well. So that's the kind of job requirement that we have in this kind of a profile. Adaptability to changing priorities and time management. Time management is something very, very important here in this profile. So adaptability to changing priorities. The priorities will be defined and decided by your manager or your supervisor, and we have to follow the priorities which are set by our seniors, our supervisors, and our managers. And end of the day, we have to ensure that the work is completed flawlessly at the right time. So time management skills is something that is very important. We have to respect and ensure the work is done in the correct time guideline. So repeating whatever I've said, skills, interests, and qualities to become a baggage handling agent, you will need to have able to work in extreme conditions such as hot and cold weather as well as small spaces, familiarity with basic computer programs to assist with record keeping and baggage routing, possess a valid driver's license and have a good driving record, pass a physical agility test depending on the airline, strong teamwork and collaboration skills to help achieve team goals, excellent verbal and communication skills such as email and phone, flexible schedule allowing work during nights, weekends, and holidays, adaptability to changing priorities, and time management skills. Friends, thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you have understood about this profile, about the skills, about the job responsibilities which are associated with this profile. So, thank you so much for listening, and as I always mention, keep learning. Welcome back, friends. So, in this chapter, we shall deal with how to become or join any of the profiles which are mentioned in this slide: airport ground staff, airline customer service, ticketing or reservation agent, ramp handling agent, cargo agent, baggage handling agent, airport retail agent, or airport hospitality. Imagine having the best career in the world, my friend. This industry provides the best career in the world. So in this chapter, we shall deal with how to become any of these or how to join any of these profiles which are mentioned in this slide. So stay with me. Friends, I'll just read out first and then we'll discuss that. By maintaining a healthy lifestyle, by leading a disciplined life, by developing communication skills, by maintaining grooming standard, by studying about airline industry, and by joining a good institute. So let's deal with them one by one. By maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So health is wealth. We all know that, and our forefathers had already repeatedly told us about this fact. Health is wealth. So healthy lifestyle is something that we always wish and we look forward in this industry. So timely eating habits or proper eating habits and timely sleep is something that is very important in this industry. So maintaining a healthy lifestyle is something very important. By leading a disciplined life, it's very important that we lead a disciplined life, because end of the day, this industry, aviation industry, is based on complete discipline. Self-discipline is something that we call in this industry. So we are all we all lead a disciplined life, and that is very important. About the time, about the sleep that we get, about the food that we eat, or any other aspect of our life. So it's a very disciplined industry, and by leading a disciplined life, by developing communication skills, understand that in this industry, if you have decent or very good communication skills, this industry is looking forward to you. So we want you to develop your communication skills, and in some other chapter I've already mentioned that communication is the transfer of thoughts from one living organism to another living organism. So the more we develop our communication skills, the more clear our transfer of thoughts are. So develop your communication skills. Yes, agreed. English is the world accepted aviation language. So yes, you should develop your English communication skills. On top of that, you should also develop the communication skills in your native language. So that's developing communication skills. By maintaining grooming standard or standards, if you have ever been to the airport or if you've seen the staff members in the aviation industry, they're always well groomed. So groom or grooming is basically the virtue by which a person or an organization or a profile looks or seems attractive to others. So that would mean we are very particular about the dressing that we wear on, the way we carry ourselves, the way we carry our hair, our basic grooming standards is all that is required in this industry. So primarily our dressing should be as per the company standards or as per the requirement of the company or the profile. The hair should be well combed, clean. Even we look at the nails, it should be trimmed and clean, and other things which are required in this industry. So grooming standards are very, very important in this industry. So maintaining grooming standard or standards by studying about airline industry. So friends, airline industry is a very, very dynamic industry. It's developing, growing day by day, every day. So things which were there a few years back are now becoming obsolete. Because it's a very dynamic industry, you have to keep yourself abreast with whatever is happening in this industry. So by studying about the airline industry, it'll help you to keep yourself abreast, updated with whatever is happening in this industry. So by studying about airline industry, by joining a good institute, friends, if you join a good institute, the institute will help you develop everything which is mentioned in this slide. So if you join a good institute, it'll tell you about the grooming standards, about the communication skills, about how to keep yourself abreast or updated with the aviation developments, etc. So if you join a good institute, and mark my words, good institute. If you join a good institute, yes, the institute will take all the responsibility of keeping you abreast with the developments in the aviation industry, and would also train you about whatever is required to join and be successful in the aviation industry. So I'll just repeat the basic points. By maintaining a healthy lifestyle, by leading a disciplined life, by developing communication skills, by maintaining grooming standard, by studying about airline industry, and by joining a good institute. So friends, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have got a basic insight about what is required to join this industry, and other things are dependent on the kind of profile that you are willing to join. But trust me, the basic things which we have discussed today, it is required in each and every profile in this industry. So thank you so much for listening, and keep learning.